Hello lads and ladies, and welcome to this and welcome back to another video on the channel. Now today I am bringing you another batch of League One predictions. Now in the recent weeks we've done quite well. On Monday we've got a few correct, most of them within a goal or two. And it was very interesting to see how the table lined up. It's been a very interesting few days. So the Easter period always kind of normally shows what the table's going to look like at the end of the season with 5 or 6 games left to go. We are going to predict this week's fixtures. There's some very, very big games in there. Let me know your score predictions. If you're new to the channel, please remember to like and subscribe. It would be appreciated. And let's get on with it. We're going to start off with Accrington Stanley against AFC Wimbledon. Accrington, who seem to win when you don't expect them to and lose when you expect them to win. So Wimbledon need all the points you can get. I've seen both sides recently. Both sides looked okay, nothing really special, but Accrington do look a better side in my opinion. They're good at home. They've gotten a few good wins there of late. They beat Wigan there. I think they beat Swindon there as well. So I think that'll tie them to a 1-0 victory. It's not going to be sweet, but I think they'll just get over in this one, and the Wombles won't go away with anything just yet, and they're still in that relegation dogfight. Next up is Crewe against Oxford. Now, Crewe have had a very good first year in League One. Oxford look to kind of, carry on their momentum for the playoffs. They look out of it, in my opinion. But a win tomorrow will put them back in the picture. I do fancy a Crewe win. Oxford have been out of sorts of late. They've lost to Accrington, they've lost to Sunderland, they've lost to Blackpool. So they're not in a good vein of form right now. And I just fancy a Crewe Alex victory in this one. Next up is Doncaster against Wigan. Now, I think it's do or die now for both teams. Doncaster need to win if they're to get into the playoffs. Wigan need to win or get at least a point if they want to stay up in League One next season. I think it's going to be an interesting game. Doncaster haven't won in 7 games now, and Wigan are getting a little bit better, but they've lost the last few. I do fancy a Doncaster winning this one by 1-0. Wigan did beat Doncaster in the earlier fixture, but Doncaster are going to get back to winning ways, back to a clean sheet, and possibly have a hint of a League One playoff space at the end of the season. Next up is Fleetwood Town against Rochdale. Fleetwood again. The last 3 or 4 games have been poor, in my opinion, in our performances. We've only won 1 out of the 3. We've lost to Swindon, Peterborough, and beat Wimbledon with a lucky goal, but a win's a win and we'll take it at all cost. Rochdale need a win, they're still fighting. They've got 5 points out of the last 9 games out of Peterborough, Lincoln and Ipswich. So they're improving. They're not going down just yet. They've got a couple of good players, Stephen Humphreys as well. I do fancy a Fleetwood win on this one. I'm going to get back to winning ways at Highbury with a 2-1 win. I fancy him in this one. Next up is Gillingham against Shrewsbury. Gills again, they've just won Manager of the Month. Steve Evans and Van Dean Oliver have just won Manager and Player of the Month. And will that be a curse? Shrewsbury have rapidly improved with under Steve Cottrell. I think he's done a very, very good job, especially with these troubles with the latest illness that's going around right now. Hopefully he's all right. But Shrewsbury again, the win one, lose one. They got a great result against Plymouth on Easter Monday. Gillingham weren't at the best against Blackpool. I do fancy a draw in this one, if I'm honest with you. A 1-1 draw, a stalemate between 2 good sides. And it's going to be an interesting one to see how that one pans out. The next one is Ipswich against MK Dons. MK Dons like to play football. They like to play it the right way. Ipswich, I don't think they mind how they play right now for long as they win. They need to keep winning to get into those playoffs, and it's kind of do or die. They're dropping points like it's no tomorrow. I am going to go for an Ipswich Town win just because it's at Portman Road. 2-1 to the Tractor Boys in this one. I think they'll just have enough. They have a good squad as well. Next up is Lincoln against Blackpool. Now, Lincoln are a good side, but they've dropped a bit. George Grant is returning in I think either this weekend or a couple of games' time. They've got a good squad. They've just come off a good 2 weeks break. Blackpool are playing, Saturday, Tuesday, pretty much now to the end of the season. It's going to be an interesting one to see how they cope. But I'm going to go for a 6th away win in a row for Blackpool with a 6th consecutive clean sheet. Lincoln 0, Blackpool 1. Next up is Northampton against Bristol Rovers. Now, it's do or die for both teams right now. And it's going to be an interesting few games. I was fancying a 1-1 draw, But I'm going to change that. I'm going to go for Northampton 1, Bristol Rovers 2. Back-to-back wins for Joey Barton's men. I predicted it right the other day. Will I be right today? Bristol Rovers aren't going without that fight. They've got some good players. Luke McCormack. They've got, the goalkeeper in goal, who's one of the best goalkeepers in League One, in my opinion. The defence, isn't the greatest, but Barton seems to trying to be shoeing that up. And, the fight for their lives and the fight for contracts. And Joey Barton's going to, really reshuffle them and the fight for the future. So I think that will really have a good effect on Rovers and possibly a 2-1 win for the Gas. Next up, Plymouth against Hull. I've gone for 2-0 to Hull. They're going to win again. Another 3 points. Another clean sheet. They kept the most clean sheets in League One this season, being 18. They're looking solid. They're scoring goals. Another away win. I fancy a Hull City win in this one. Next up, Portsmouth against Burton. Burton probably still need maybe 1 or 2 points to stay up, like we say every week. Portsmouth obviously have won 4 in a row under Danny Cowley. That is going to be 5 with another 1-0 win, a clean sheet, and they're climbing those playoffs. They're not out of automatics just yet, but I believe it'll be the playoffs, and they're going into the playoffs in the right way, the right vein of form, winning games of football, keeping it tight at the back. The long ball percentage has gone down from like 28-30% to 18-20%. So they're playing football the right way, and it's not just hoofball under jacket anymore. 1-0 to Portsmouth. Next up is Sunderland against Charlton. What a game this is. Nigel Atkins has come in. 1 draw, 1 win, yet to lose. Sunderland come off a disappointing result against Peterborough, but again, still a point nonetheless. They've still got Hull to play as well and Blackpool to play, so they need to pick up as many 3 points as they can. I'm going to go for a 2-1 Sunderland in this one. It's going to be a tight game. It's the roles reserved to their first game in League One when they beat Charlton 2-1. I'm going to go for the same result today. And finishing off is Swindon against Peterborough. Swindon need a win to stay up pretty much. Peterborough need a win to go up. I am going to fancy a Peterborough 1-0 win, just a clean sheet, tight at the back. And it's going to be a cagey game. Knowing I say that would be 3-3, but I'm fancying a posh 1-0 victory. Thank you for watching today's video, guys. I hope you have enjoyed it. If you're new to the channel, please remember to like and subscribe. Let me know your thoughts on my predictions down below. Until next time, guys, I will see you later. Up the cods.